everybody. Welcome back to Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. Today, we have someone very near and dear to our hearts who's been on this journey with us for a long time. This is Viviane Heller. And we're going to be talking today about the Akashic Records, animal communication, quantum healing. Viviane, tell us a little bit about where you are in life right now. What are you focusing on? What offerings do you have?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor to join you, and I love what you do, and I am grateful for you, Mary. Um, well, am. I started with Reiki. I started my healing journey, my studies with Reiki. So I am a Reiki master, and I started learning Reiki to mainly focus on helping animals. Actually, my first clients were animals, and animals absolutely love receiving Reiki energy. I learned how to read the Akashic Records, and it's been an amazing journey doing that too. Um, I offer. I also learned quantum healing techniques, and I absolutely love quantum healing. I offer quantum healing for people and pets. I absolutely love being able to offer quantum healing to animals because of their unconditional love to us and everything that they do to help us on our own healing journey by absorbing energies and everything they do to protect our energy. And it's just an immense act of unconditional love, and they're so selfless, and animals deserve all the unconditional love, and back to like double it. There's just an amazing animals are just amazing, and I want to help people and their pets, and to connect and on a higher level, like to help each other even more on their healing journeys, their missions here. So yeah, this is what I do and what I offer, and I know we may change in the future because I'm open to learn more and grow, and every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. I started learning holistic healing because of my own healing journey. That I started uh, looking for other ways to heal myself, and the experience was just so transformative, and it gave me so much clarity and inner peace, and healing in ways that I couldn't imagine. So I'm absolutely grateful for the experience.
I am hearing that animals are really kind of a passion point. I heard
Yes.
the self-healing piece, which a lot
Mm-hmm.
of us start by that self-healing, just wanting to be at peace because there's so much in
Yes.
our lives that just doesn't feel aligned, that we end up on our healing journey. But it sounds like once you got on your healing journey, your passion point was really animals. You said your very first clients were animals.
Yes. And I, from being a little girl, I always loved animals, and I had um, animals in my life, and especially cats that I came to my life, and it brought me a lot of joy and healing too. They came to my life in times that I couldn't ask for any. They came to my life in a point that I needed that healing and unconditional love, and it took me a long time to understand. Okay, this is what's happening. This exchange. I spent about, I'll say, 14 years dedicating to volunteer work at an animal shelter, a no kill animal shelter, and I saw so much there too. It is just so sad to see animals in situations that they have all that love to offer, and they're in a shelter environment. So I spent a lot of time with them and helping the shelter in promoting the shelter and helping them at events, but mainly spending time with the animals, cats and dogs. I also volunteered for about 8 years, I think, for a animal rescue organization that, let's say, if there's a disaster, it happens with when there's a fire, house fire, or it could be a car accident or a major disaster that requires animals to be sheltered. So let's say the um, what's it called? I'm sorry. What is that big organization? The Red Cross. I'm sorry. The Red Cross would help the people, and then the organization that I volunteer for would help the animals. So we had to keep the animals separated while the animals were not allowed at the moment uh, to be in the shelter with the people. So we would be caring for the animals, um, giving them food and medication, and transport them to vet if necessary. So there was this part of the work. We also worked very closely with the fire department, and 911 would be receiving calls through 911 for deployment. So that was very interesting work too. And after I learned healing through Reiki and other modalities, I took a break from the being in a shelter because I was there pretty much every day of the week, and so I took time aside to learn and to help animals with the healing techniques, and also dedicating time for my own healing too. So I needed that time back.
What it sounds like I heard you say
Mm-hmm.
is that from a young age, animals were healing you.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
Yes.
you said, they showed up in times that you needed it the most, or, there
Yes.
were things going on, and just their pure unconditional love was healing. Like, and
Yes.
that's something we may not even always realize is how it's healing us emotionally and energetically. And
Mm-hmm.
then you working at these shelters, it feels like you were giving back just by spending time, even before you knew that you were
Yes.
doing energy work. It's not like you walked in like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm going to do Reiki on all these animals, but
Mm-hmm.
you were doing the same thing through your unconditional love. Showing up for the animals
Yes.
and caring for them and spending time with them was also healing for them. So
Mm-hmm.
that gives me a lot of hope, though, because what that tells everybody out there is that even if you don't know all of these healing modalities, just that key point of unconditional love can help heal those energies in other people and in animals around us.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and it was a wonderful experience to give back because the animals I had in my life, they were stray animals that became, later on became, my pets, and others that from shelters. And so seeing those animals that has so much to give and being in that situation, and I just really it was always a big celebration to see them being adopted, but there was a lot of sadness to see them spending so much time in a shelter environment with so much to give. But there was also, I feel for people that may say, okay, I can't have pets in my life because I live in an apartment that don't allow pets, or there are a lot of people that are thinking, I don't know what to do with my life. I want to give, I want to do this, I want to do that, or I feel stuck in life. Volunteering is a wonderful way to change that if you feel stuck and if you feel like you don't know what your mission in life is, and you feel lost, or you don't know what to do, and if you have time to consider doing that, and if it's not to help animals, there's so many other organizations and other ways to give your time and your energy to be of service to help others. And I saw people at the shelter also that had, let's say, they lost a loved one, and they're mourning. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend time with the animals and help animals. Their feral animals to socialize, or that had an injury, to have that time with them. And through that, you meet other people, and your community grows, and it's just you also healing people in a process. And it's just really amazing to be able to do that. I see people saying, well, I don't know what my purpose is when it comes to the Akashic Records, asking questions like this. And think I recommend people to think about that, to give their time, and think of a cause that is important to them, whether it's helping people, helping animals, food pantry. There's so much that can be done to help other people, and yeah.
I love that you said that, because as a healer, this is a question that we get a lot,
Yeah.
or even just where people come because maybe nothing's super wrong, but maybe they just don't feel like they have a purpose. They don't
Yes.
do, or they feel stuck. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love that you put this out there, because it doesn't have to be this big, grand, oh, well, you're meant to stand on a mountaintop and heal people instantly.
Yes.
It could be as simple
Yes.
as opening up that unconditional love and giving back to your personal community, and how that ripples
Yes.
out and affects. Um,
And sometimes you start on a journey, and you think it's what you're supposed to do, and it turned to be something different, because that was my background was completely different. I studied computer networking. I studied French. And before and after that, I was always questioning, okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I good at? And I tried so many different things that didn't bring me joy and fulfillment, and I was still searching. And after I graduated college, I didn't have a job, and job search wasn't um, going well for me, and I was lost. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to dedicate my time to something, and that's when I started volunteering, when things were really I didn't know what to do, and things weren't really going the way I expected, and I was very frustrated and lost, and kind of fed up too, because my jobs were making me unhappy, and I just really needed to stop everything. Okay, so that's when I started working with volunteering, and yeah. So.
One thing that I'm really hearing, though, uh,
Mm,
or that I've become aware of, is that even though animals might come to us in times that we need them most, and they might be that pure representation of unconditional love, I feel like it becomes part of our purpose when we
yes.
learn how to give back, like you said,
Yes.
because you did specify it wasn't a job, it was a volunteer position. When you
Yes.
decided to show up for them, because the thing about shelters, because I volunteer as well. The thing about shelters is when you go in there, logically, this is good for them because they're not
Yes.
on the street, they're not homeless, they're not hungry, they have a place to be. But emotionally, in your heart space, you know that they deserve more. They deserve a home, they deserve
Yes.
warmth, they deserve care and comfort. And so, what you do when you volunteer, like you were doing, is you were going in there and giving them that emotional piece that they were missing. They had their
Yeah.
needs met, but then
Mm-hmm.
you came in to give the energy, the emotion, the love. And through you choosing to do that for them first,
Mm-hmm.
then they gave back emotionally, and you began it starts to go in a circle where you're healing each other, because you know that they're
Yes.
absorbing that heaviness and releasing it. Especially a cat, you can feel them
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like breathing it in and getting really fat with it.
Yeah. Cats are so amazing when it comes to energy healing. It's yeah. It's absolutely amazing. And I also feel that, well, from a young age, I experienced, I mean, like many of us, I experienced a lot of trauma, hardships, throughout my whole life. And I still experience, like my life right now is a roller coaster, and I'm still going through my personal healing process and going through my personal journey, my soul's mission, my soul's journey. And from a very young age, besides animals, I reached out to, I was very creative and artistic, and we all love music. To music and sound, music have it's incredibly healing to us. So that was a big part of my life growing up, like the healing from animals and music, and carried me through so many difficult times and gave me so much hope and strength that it when you experience, I feel like those moments that you're so low, and you feel like your heart is so raw and vulnerable. You feel like, I feel like that's when your heart is really open. Those low moments, that are so difficult to experience, but that's when you feel more open to really be connected to your heart, your soul, your guides. And I am grateful for those moments too, because that's when your connection gets a boost of strength, and I believe to raise your energy, raise your vibration, and to align you even more on your soul's mission. So I say that for those interested in doing any kind of healing, is to, I think it's important to think that we as healers, we are humans too, and we are going through our own healing. We don't necessarily have all the answers, but we do our work with from a place of unconditional love and integrity. And we have our heart open to you, and we want you to receive healing and the messages and guidance, and to feel empowered to and energized and empowered to move on with your life in a manner that is like, you're making the choices. You have power to make the choices, and change your present and your future for better, to grow and to help yourself and others, because when you're healing yourself, you're healing others around you.
What a powerful message. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. At what
Hmm.
point did you go from, okay, we're giving back to animals, and so that's in turn healing them and then healing us, and then doing intentional Reiki on animals? How did that turn into animal communication or even animal quantum healing?
Uh, I, I will answer that, but I just want to mention a memory that came through my mind that is stuck with me. So yeah, growing up, I had a lot of difficult experiences, and I remember one time, we all experienced trauma and all kinds of issues in our life. But I remember one day specific, coming back from high school, going home. So situation at school was off. I was a good student, but situation at school, I dealt with bullying and all kinds of issues. So I had a terrible day at school. And I also had a dysfunctional family. So I had a tough time at school. And I knew that going home, it wasn't going to be any easier. And I remember it was a hot summer day, and I got home, and the neighbor had a gorgeous cat. And it was an indoor outdoor cat. And but she used to, she wasn't fixed, so she was having kittens all over the place. And my mother was my mother always worked, very hard to raise me and my sister, by herself. And when she noticed, she would see little kittens, that the by the neighbor's cat kittens. She did things to help the kittens that were like sometimes left helpless. And I remember coming home from a terrible day at school, and I opened the door and I saw there were like three or four kittens that my mom rescued. And they were like really newborn. They still had the umbilical cord attached.
Oh,
They
wow.
were so helpless and so, just fragile. And I remember looking at them, and unfortunately, they didn't make it. But I remember looking at them, and I thought to myself, and I thought I had a hard day. I thought I had a difficult day.
Mm.
And that image stuck with me for so many years, and just I felt for them, like being so uh, fragile and helpless, and that really stuck with me. So every time I saw an animal on the street, and a stray animal, and even animals that had families, I always um, felt like that strong connection. And when I received healing, 'cause I started like my healing journey, looking for my own healing a few years ago, also doing regular traditional therapy. And I received Reiki healing. I received also quantum healing from you and others, and readings. And when I experienced how transformative that was to me, and I felt lucky, I was curious. When I heard about Reiki, I didn't know what Reiki was. A lot of people know me as a moderator for many YouTube channels. They see my name there because I help a lot of channels. And I heard other readers talk about Reiki, and I didn't know what it was. So, okay, I was curious, okay, what is this? What is Reiki? So I looked up online, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. This is something that I could do to help. I can do Reiki for myself and others and help animals. But I didn't know where to go to learn that. And once I realized that I could do that, I could learn that online, I registered for a class and continued to do that. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to open my pet sitting business, and I'm going to be doing this and I do that. I had all these ideas, and I continued to learn more. And then I learned the Akashic Records. And for those who don't know the Akashic Records, think of the Akashic Records as uh, uh, a cosmic Google for your soul. Oh, and it has a record of every thought, word, emotion, action from your souls, all past lives, concurrent lives, future lives. And so I had an Akashic record reading, and I confessed that the first time that I had a reading, it was um, not what I expected. I had my ego mind talking. The kinds of questions that I asked were not the greatest, and I kind of took it for granted in a way. It was like what, but then afterwards, like, oh my God, this is this is so big and amazing, and I should have known better. So my mindset changed after my Akasha record reading, because it was like, wait a minute, this is so it can offer you information, but it's a wonderful place for healing, clarity, and guidance. And when I had the opportunity to learn about the Akashic Records, I said, okay, this is going to help me heal myself and others. And you can read the Akashic Records for people, for animals, for buildings, for your home, and it's just it's absolutely amazing. So I through access the Akashic Records, you put yourself in you do a meditation to be in a higher vibration and get in quantum field, and then you read a protective prayer, and you read a specific prayer to open the Akashic Records. So I recommend anyone to have an Akashic Record reading for guidance and clarity. It's uh, it's an amazing experience. It really changed my life in many ways. And so that's kind of how I started. I started with Reiki, and then Akashic Records readings, and then I learned quantum healing techniques too. That is also amazing. In the past, I when I studied computer networking, I also took more creative classes that were about 3D design for computer 3D design, because the computer networking is very dry and is I need something creative. So I took those classes, and I what I'm loving about quantum healing is because I and the Akashic Records too, because I get to use all my clairs, and I get to hear, feel, and see things. And when I have visions through the Akashic Records or quantum healing, it makes me think a lot about the um, 3D animation classes that I computer classes that I took in the past. So kind of like that comes a little bit together, because sometimes you think, oh, I'm not going to use this and that I learned, and in the past it was a waste of time. No, it wasn't a waste of time, because those skills are being used some in ways now. I think about the times that I had yeah, took those classes, and I was working on creating an image, creating something that had to come to life. And now I'm seeing those images come uh, to me, and I have to use those images to, make them come to life to the client, to understand the messaging, understand what's coming through to them. So yeah, it's been an a very interesting experience.
I love how backing up and then moving through, I love how you gave us your awakening moment. Like,
Yes.
whether you
Mhm.
label it or that way or not, like, I felt that was your awakening. I thought I had a bad day.
Oh, yes,
And look
yes.
at these kittens, like that was your awakening moment. It feels like that kind of set you
Mm-hmm.
on this path. And then
Yes.
eventually you're learning Reiki and learning the Akashic Records. Um, and one thing I really like about the Akashic Records is that we can see this as the fifth dimensional space.
Yes.
The third dimension is here, the fourth dimension is time, and then the fifth dimension is all of our experiences and everything that we've gone through throughout time and space,
Mm-hmm.
and it exists there on this record that we can access,
Yes.
that we can see, because time isn't linear.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I have to ask though, because you said that your first reading, you didn't ask the right questions. What are the right questions? What should people ask to get the most out of their readings, do you feel like?
A lot of people ask yes, questions, and those are a little bit tricky to answer. But the questions I asked, I was so concerned about really like 3D things that are important, because that's our day-to-day life. But I didn't really know and understand at that point the possibility for healing,
Mhm.
clearings of we can get clearings of past trauma, past life traumas that are affecting us now. And there's so when it comes to limiting beliefs that are holding us back, they maybe come from generations before you, past lives, or something that you're experiencing now. And I was my ego mind was more in control when I was thinking about the questions to ask. And looking back, I wish I had been more open to receive the guidance than to be uh, concerned about. Okay, yeah, finances are important, and if I have a job, it's important. I have all those things that we do day to day, but there's just so much more to help us and uplift us, and to guide us and give us clarity. And especially for those people that ask, okay, um, what's going on with my job, or what's going on with my relationship. And you may be experiencing things right now because you have a soul contract to experience those things now in your life. And that's part of your healing and your growth. So it gives a different understanding of. I remember thinking, okay, I have so many difficult experiences when it comes to relationships, but well, perhaps I did the same thing to someone in a past life, and and then I chose to experience this in this lifetime. So it gives more understanding, and I feel that we understand, okay, this is why this is happening in my life now. It's happening in my life now because I chose this, and because I need to clear this and heal this for myself and my lineage, and my it was my choice, even though I don't remember. So I'll say the right questions to ask would be, for example, what is a limiting belief that I have that is blocking me, that is holding me back right now in my life, that it needs to be cleared so I can move on, and or what is um, a soul contract that I'm working through right now that it's close to completion, for example, or. Hmm, what is a past life that is affecting me the most right now that I can learn about to help me understand my current situation, and my soul's journey, and where I'm going. A lot of people also ask about future, and the future is tricky because you have different timelines, different possibilities, and the more you raise your vibration, the more you heal yourself, and the more you're aware of, self-aware of the choices you have, choices you make now, and other, of course, other people's free will. Everything will get tied together, and help you with the shape your future. And we also need to let people know, like, you cannot ask about someone else's life, like, oh, we need your permission, and the person's clear permission to access their Akashic records is not something that we do without permission. So if you come to me for a reading and you say, I want to know, please tell me about my coworker or my husband and all that, I need to have their permission. And one other thing too is that, I just thought about something important. I read the Akashic records for those that are 18 years and older. I don't read the Akashic records to minors. It's important to have that out too.
You gave us some really good questions to ask if we're getting
Mm-hmm.
an Akashic reading.
Yeah.
Those are
Yes.
really, really good questions. But what you've also done is you differentiated the difference between an Akashic reading,
Hmm.
an Akashic healing, or an Akashic
Yes.
clearing. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that because you also know these other modalities, such as Reiki and quantum healing, that when someone comes to you for an Akashic reading, that you do
Yes.
clearings for them.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And that's really. I connect to your, when I open your Akasha records, the guides will bring information. I'll hear, feel, see um, what is affecting you the most right now that needs clearing. You may get also. I often offer chakra clearing because that goes with the, what block or what's going on with you at the moment. You may need a throat chakra healing and clearing. But the guides will tell you. And the guides, one important thing too is that if there's something that you ask and you're not ready to know and learn, the guides will not share with you at the moment. And I guess there's a reason why I'm saying this now, because when it comes to reading for a minor, when you're growing up and you are, uh, experiencing life, there are things that you're not ready to learn about your journey yet, because you just not it's not the time, because you will be learning lessons and experiencing life and making choices, and there are things in your life that the Akashic records will not show you yet, because you're not quite open, because you're in a process of learning a lesson, you're in a process of growing. And yeah, when is the right time for you to to learn a specific information about your life, you learn. And one other thing too, I do give free readings on YouTube, and there are things that the Akashic Records Masters will not reveal to you in a public setting. So it's that's why we also recommend you having a private session, because we can go more in depth with everything. And there are a lot of things that are private and will not be beneficial to be, we will not, they will not share that in a public setting. So
That makes sense because, people could be
yeah,
struggling with some real personal questions
yeah,
or maybe the reason for something they're struggling with is something very personal. So that is
yes, absolutely.
respectful of the
Mm-hmm.
guys to not throw
Yeah.
that information out there like that.
Yeah, and when it comes to the things in our life, there's so many things that we may be experiencing, whether it's at your work or relationships, and you go through this cycle, and because there's a lesson there for you to learn, and once you are open to go through that experience and you finally learn that lesson, then that cycle won't repeat itself again and again. But you have to be open and willing and do the work to accomplish that and learn that lesson. It's we all say that Earth is a school. Yeah, we're here to learn lessons. So the Akasha, I'm saying this because the Akasha Records is there to help you and guide you and give you healing and clarity, but you still have to go through the process of learning your lessons and experiencing things that are not uncomfortable, but are part of your healing and growth.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing about that, especially the clearing parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people who work just as Akashic readers, who work as psychics, or even in therapy, where you're bringing a lot of things to a person's awareness
Yes.
through a story, and they can work through them and process that. But it's the healing part. It's like they go in tandem. They have to have the healing
Yes.
aspects of that as
Yeah.
well. So, how did your Akashic readings then turn into the quantum healing? Because I think that was the third part, right?
Yes. After learning about the Akashic Records, and I became more interested in the quantum field, and I came across classes and trainings that I figured, okay, this is the right track for me. I am really intrigued by quantum healing, and it's one of it's I'll say at the moment it's one of my favorite things to do because it's always different, and I also learn a lot from practicing, and we all learn and grow, but it's because it's always different, and it is helping me so much to strengthen my clairs and experience them, um, and trust more in what I'm getting. So that's why, and I think everything when I give a quantum energy healing session to a person or an animal, I feel that it's when I everything comes together, and I love combining different modalities. It's a wonderful experience, and that's I feel like when everything comes together and it flows in a way that is the way that is meant to be for the highest good of the client. And it's really an amazing experience. I uh, want to learn more and more about quantum healing and in the future, and other modalities too that I absolutely love being able to combine different modalities. And that's why I mentioned, like, there were Akasha Records readings that I gave, and okay, now I need to do this. You pull, you have this different tools, and when everything comes together like that, it's just really, it's like when you have this recipe. It's not always following the exact recipe. Once you get the hang of it, like, okay, now I want to switch the ingredients and I want to, spice it up a bit, or I wanted to. You get to be more creative with the healing. That's why it's really rewarding about quantum healing.
For those who don't know, can you tell us what quantum healing is or what it is to you and how you practice?
Oh, quantum healing. I would say quantum healing. You get to this. I would say this different dimension where this is my way of defining. To me, quantum healing, you get into this uh, higher dimension that it's where you are really working side by side with all your guides and the Akashic Records masters, teachers, loved ones, and beings of light that we call on. But I love working closely with angels and ascended masters. And to me, the quantum healing, being that dimension in that higher vibration, that's where really everything comes together. It is. I feel that's where I meet with Source and Gaia and all of the the Akashic Records masters and my guides and the clients' guides, and it is it's a magical space. That's my again, it's my definition, it's my experience, and the quantum field is available to all of us that wish to enter. You can, and everybody can learn. And again, it's you prepare yourself through meditation and raising your vibration, and then you learn. I always set up a safe space, and I call on my guides and prepare myself prior to the session to be in a higher vibration and in a safe space, and at the end to I close the session and I thank all the guides and souls that participated in the healing. And there's a very important part of after every session is to remind yourself to stay hydrated, to drinking water, to move the energy and to process the healing and to ground your energy and to continue with practices. I always like to give a little bit of homework, and I know you do that too because I'm also your client, and that's very important because the healing doesn't end when the session ends, and the empowering experience doesn't end there. So you continue to heal for days and weeks afterwards.
I think that the homework you're talking about is very important. I love that
Yeah.
you brought that up, that
Mm-hmm.
healing doesn't end, it continues going,
Yes.
especially with things like quantum healing, because you do
Mm-hmm.
get to the magical place. I love that you described
Yes.
the
Yeah.
magical place because the quantum level is like the void space. It's
Yes.
smaller than the cells and the molecules. It's the void space. It's the nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, it's the everything because that's where
Yes.
everything is born from. All magic, all healing, like everything that
Manifestation.
you're
Yes.
imagining everything that you want in your future springs from the quantum levels. So when we can go there and implant the things that you want, health, love,
Mm-hmm.
abundance, whatever that is, and then you can use your homework to keep yourself in that quantum space, then every step you take moving forward becomes a manifestation of your
Mm-hmm.
healing. And what I found interesting about you calling it the magic space is that today I pulled this one card, the Will o' the Wisp, which is about hidden treasures.
Oh, lovely.
It's about getting to that little space where there is
Mm-hmm.
a treasure there that can be born and manifest and come out. It's about that space of stepping into the mystery of the unknown, because sometimes I think that people get nervous about healing or
Yeah.
clearing because they don't know who they're going to be or what's going to happen after. They only know who they've been. And I think
Yeah.
you are an amazing testament of somebody who has stepped into the mystery of the unknown, not knowing anything or
Yeah.
how things are going to turn out, just to take hold of that magic.
Yes. Oh, thank you for saying that. It's absolutely and continues to be my experience, and but it's an amazing experience, and it's that's why I also mentioned earlier. I also do regular traditional therapy, but it's uh, the homework. There's so many wonderful healing modalities out there available. So why not try different things and combine different things? And so many wonderful, gifted, and kind, um, wonderful healers out there offering their services and being of service. It's wonderful. We are very, it's a blessing to have that available to us. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want people to know? A word that's on your heart, or anything else about you and your practice that you want people to know?
Yes. Well, to start, I'll tell anyone who would like to get in touch with me. I do have a website, and I want to read.
We'll have the link in the
Oh,
description.
we get that in. Okay, so yeah, you may connect with me through my website if you like to uh, look into more detail of my services I offer, and if you like to schedule a session with me. I also have a YouTube channel that Mary will have in the description, and you can see, if you would like to get to know me more and um, learn more about what I do. You feel free to check my channel and subscribe and all of that. What I would like to tell people is right now is we are all going through a very difficult time, of course, in our country. I mean, I avoid watching the news as much as possible, but we all know that we are all going through a difficult time right now in the country, and I personally am going through, still continue to go through major transformation in my life, and that's part of my healing, that's part of my journey. And my life is a roller coaster right now, and I also, like a lot of people, am dealing with uncertainty, and it's very difficult to go on, day to day when you're worrying about your what's happening in your 3D life, and you're scared, and you were thinking about uncertainty. And what I tell people is the best you can do for yourself is to connect with your heart and that inner light that we all have, and think of your heart as your compass, and connect to your heart and your inner light in those moments, and ask for guidance. Talk to your heart, listen to your heart, connect to your heart, and call on your guides for help and guidance. A lot of people don't are not into meditating. I do enjoy meditating, but when I'm not meditating, I go for walks in nature, and that's my way of meditating too. And I call on my guides. I call on my guides when I'm driving and by myself, and I try to have that communication daily, not only when you're doing a reading, not only when you try to have that practice, that connection, strengthen that connection, and look into your heart for go within to connect to your heart for that, to strengthen your inner light, because we have so much going on that we end up letting others dim our light. So go within, connect to your heart, release. If you're doing through meditating or writing it down on a paper and then burning the paper, or crying, whatever you need to do to release what is not serving your highest good. And if you're having experiencing loss, and through this process, of letting people go and letting things go and going through this transformation to heal yourself and change your life, remember that you're doing for yourself, and you're doing for your highest good, and you have guidance and protection, and don't let others dim your light. Stay true to yourself, and be present. Very important to be present, and because it's by being present and connecting with your heart that you're going to move uh, on your journey with hope and unconditional love and strength.
Thank you so much for that word, Viviane. It was very, very powerful. And
Thank
you
you.
guys really connect in with Viviane. Use her services, the records for
Mhm.
clearing, especially for your pets too. Do
Yes.
those quantum
Yes.
healings and communicate with your animals for you.
Hmm.
This has been such a heart-opening word and a magical experience. And
Thank you.
I hope that we get you back on here sometime soon because you're one of my favorite Virgos.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. I'm grateful for you, Mary, and thank you so much for having
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you a lot.
me.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.